to BLPA Big Show. Hockey, sports, life for the adult athlete. Powered by the Beer League Players Association. Follow us at the BLPA.
Everybody, just follow.
Keep connected with us. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. You dig that?
Follow
On every social media outlet. And make sure you follow the crew on Twitter. Nick at Nicker Jones. Jason at Beer League Jason. And Jillian at BLPA Jillian. Let's get it.
Welcome to the greatest hockey show in the world. I gotta be quiet because I got a little kid that's actually
I
sleeping.
was wondering.
Yeah, usually I'm loud, but I'm
So
literally
sensual.
right across. Welcome, everybody, gather around Pappy.
Yeah, stay in your
Well-
sexy voice. You always make me say things in
I don't. But it's because you have a sexy. That's just your normal voice. No, but really, welcome to the greatest hockey show in the world. We're glad you're here with us today.
Mostly.
We're here. This is going to be a little different. Okay, we're recording. I'm just going to lay it out. I like to be honest with people. I like to be upfront. We're record half, and then we think we have an interview coming, and
Allegedly.
then we're going to stop, and then we're going to record the other half in a couple days. So we might be wearing something different.
The lighting will be better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be during the day. Right now, we're literally BLP after dark right now.
It's
right?
like midnight.
Which is great for kind of the thing that I want to talk about tonight. Some stuff that only happens in the dark. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we'll tell the full truth is we were just here shooting the shoot, and you started telling some
we hang
after dark
sometimes.
stories and said
Yep.
we got to turn the mics on. Like we have to take this thing live.
Yeah, we hang sometimes. Me and Jillian just
Yeah, it's very
we've never hung in
exclusive.
person, but we're going to. But it's it's our thing. It's kind of our thing.
Yeah.
But why don't you do your thing and tell them where they can find us?
Okay. Well, number one, you know where you can find us because you're listening right now. So wherever this is one place you can find us. But you could also find us Facebook, X/Twitter, depends on whose side you're on, Pinterest, Patreon, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok.
Red line. I don't know. I still don't.
Red Note if you're on there for sure. If you
where
are
am
on there.
Where am I?
All at the BLPA.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Everything the
Yeah.
BLPA. So come follow us, come find us. We're almost about to pass the 28,000 member group mark in our group.
Yeah, we have too many friends in that group.
Yeah.
I swear it's like this private exclusive group. And I'm like 30,000 of our closest little biddies.
Yeah, and I want to talk about the tournament that I was at this weekend.
I want to hear you talk about it.
But we're gonna have to get Jason on Tuesday to talk about the tournament he was at because we did 2 tournaments in one weekend. Split our time.
Y'all are
So,
nuts. Was
I
he
don't know.
reffing or playing?
No, he was playing. He was playing for sure. For sure he was.
Wow, I can't wait to hear about that.
So, but before we go do that, I just want to say it's Boston Dex Week, Boston Draft Experience. So I leave Thursday, go to Boston, my favorite U.S. city ever in Boston. So I'm super stoked about that. My
Is
run.
it leprechaun themed?
No, we've done some of that. This time it's Irish whiskey, so kind of leprechaun.
Oh! I like that better.
Yeah.
That's
So we've done some career. We've done like Dropkick Murphys. We've done a bunch of other things. But there's also like one time I did taking us back to the 80s, the 1780s. And it was like all of our founding fathers in like Miami Vice theme. It was
Oh
pretty
my
cool.
God.
That was,
That's
I'm
good.
Yeah, I'm pretty cool about that stuff.
I want to say I'm having an 80s themed party, but then someone's like, oh, like neon is like, no. The 1780s. Bring your powdered wigs.
Exactly.
Cool.
And it has to be curled on the top. So
Yeah.
we did that. But so I'm gonna go there. But my run of not having like 6 a.m. flights ended today. I literally just flew in from Tampa. I went Tampa to LAX to Calgary, and I got in at 6 o'clock, and it's now 9 o'clock, and I'm here working for you guys.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I do. Thank you.
You're so giving of yourself.
I only brought that up to say
Mhm.
that I'm going to fly out to Boston, and my flight leaves at, did I say 5:30? Please don't say I said 5:30. Hold on. Tanis just asked me, and I told her, is it 5:30 or 6:30? Okay, it's 6:30. But I get it at 5 p.m. But still.
So what's your wake up? What's your alarm set for?
I gotta be at the airport at 4:30 a.m.
What?
Why do Calgary Airport sucks. It sucks. Like just they don't have like even though I'm in Nexus, they don't have like a Nexus check-in. It's a mess. So it takes me about 30 minutes to get to the airport from where I live. So that has me leaving at 4. So I'm probably waking up at 3:15, 3:30.
Do you like this?
No.
Why do you do it?
I love what I do. I
Yes.
don't love how I do it.
But
You know?
yeah, there's other options.
No, there's not.
Right? That's the one flight of the day.
Well, if I want to get there in time to, get settled, make sure, because if you wait to leave until Friday, like what if they lose your sticks? What if they lose your stuff? You don't have an extra day buffer. So you got to leave
I
early.
guess it's far for you.
Yeah. I mean, cause it's always going, this one probably is my thing in Minneapolis. Yep. MSP.
Oh my God, say hi to my mom.
I will tell her to come to the airport and bring me some
Okay.
bacon.
I will. I'll tell her to.
But no, so yeah, so I'm YYC to MSP, MSP to Boston. So like I get there at 10:19. My layover's till 1:00, and then it's 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Boston. That's basically it. So
Oh my
yeah.
God.
So I hate
Life
it.
is hard for you.
But here's what happens after Boston.
Okay.
Boston's over Sunday.
Y'all.
Monday, I fly out to Oslo, Norway
That's so sick.
by way of Amsterdam. And guess what time I leave?
1 p.m.
8 p.m.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Are you in the lay flat? You little rich biatch.
It's not rich. It's just
I
you
know.
get
I fly 40 weeks a year. Blah, blah,
like,
blah, blah.
but everyone always
Just
says
own
that,
it,
and
Scrooge
I don't
McDuck.
like everyone's like, oh, you see where the tournaments cost so much. Well, one, no, the
Yeah, how
tournaments
dare
don't
you?
cost so much. There's so many other tournaments that are more expensive. One, that
It's
are the
because you're
same.
pocketing all that money from that fake stick raffle.
And I know, oh fuck that guy. Holy shit, bud. And then guess what? And then that guy didn't even I'll just leave the group. I'm like, okay, do it. He's like, okay, I'll
Bye.
do it. And I'm like, see ya.
Ooh, he really showed you.
And then he didn't leave. He was still in there today. So you know what I did? See ya.
No.
Yep, I did it. I don't know what he was wanting. And it's weird
I think
because
he was questioning. Well, okay, give the context if not
okay,
everyone's watching
so
this so closely.
I did a stick giveaway, right? But you had to buy an entry into the giveaway, right? And there was 60 spots to give away. It was $10 a spot or 3 for 25. Thinking that everyone's going to go 3 for 25. So you make $500. It's a $399 stick plus shipping. After on this one, there was like $80 left over. And they're like, oh, making all this money, blah, 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 blah. And I didn't say, hey, I'm giving it to a good cause. I just said, hey, let's do this. Right. And then when someone said, I'm like, chill, bro, it's going to puck 10, it's like, oh yeah, you get called out. And now it's going. I'm like, like, whatever. I'm not going to risk anything just to make $80. And you know what? And then I said, and if I did,
would.
so what? All right.
Yeah.
This is my group.
True.
I created it. I can do
Yeah.
as I see fit. Right.
True.
And then he just started lecturing me on like morality and shit. And then I find out that he's opening a Play It Again Sports, whose whole business model is to lowball people for their shit so they can sell it for profit and make money. And I'm just like, what the
That's kind of
fuck,
funny.
bud? And so at the end of and here's what's the whole shitty part about that whole thing is he messaged me a few months ago to be on his hockey podcast. He reached out to me, right?
Oh. Uh-huh.
And then when I messaged him, I noticed that I had messaged him like 12 years earlier
What?
about doing a local tournament in Oklahoma because he used to live in Tulsa. He left me on red for those 11 years until he needed me for something to be on his podcast.
That's shifty.
You know what I'm saying? And then he
Yeah.
wants to lecture me on morality. And you know what? If I want to do a stick raffle and give the money to Jillian, why wouldn't I? Why couldn't I?
That's what we're doing for the next one. I'm
know what I'm
just as
saying?
good of a cause.
So I mean, it's just weird what people get on their high horse about. And other people are like,
Yes.
who cares? Who cares if he makes money? Like I'm getting a chance to
Right.
get a stick at $10. Like,
Yeah.
you know what? I get it. I'm not trying to be shady or anything. We're just trying different things, trying to give people cool shit. Like fuck.
Yeah.
But
Hello.
nonetheless.
Anyway,
I
there
am
was a
sitting
point
I am
to
sitting
that.
in the lay down bed.
Oh, you are going in the lay flat. Oh.
Mhm.
Hey, but did you get to choose your meal yet?
Yeah. I just
What are you
did
getting?
actually. I just did.
What is
It's
it? What is it?
it's wait, I'm right here. I can tell you what the meal selections are in
Thank you.
the Delta one.
Okay, I'll tell you what I'll choose, and then I'll tell you what you should choose, and then you
Okay.
can tell me what you chose.
Oh wait, that's MSP to Boston. So this is just regular, and I just got upgraded
Oh,
for
this is
free.
regular first
I just
class.
got upgraded to free to first class from MSP to Boston. I
You
can get
should
this.
transfer me some points.
I can get the slow roasted beef.
Oh, get that. That's
I
so
can get
good.
roasted chicken breast,
F,
spinach ravioli,
no. Mm,
makhani chicken curry,
still
or
no.
shrimp or the chilled shrimp salad.
Ooh, shrimp on a plane seems weird. Um,
But I'm gonna get the roast beef because they also have garlic
yes.
mashed potatoes. Oh wait, they also have
Yes.
that with the chicken. But is
No,
the chicken gonna
get
have
the
any flavor?
beef.
I'm getting the beef. Yep, save selection.
Get that
I just did
beef.
it. I saved it. The curry does sound good, but I'm afraid I'd shit myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't wanna
Save
shit
that.
myself on a
Save
plane.
that for when you go to
I
a
don't
very
wanna
big
shit
place.
myself on a plane. But and
True.
here's the deal with
That one
food on a
person.
plane. So, like, when I go to Japan and I get meal, I always try to get the Asian dish, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're going to Japan, you might as well. But last time they had one, but it sold out by the time I got to it. So here's my selections for Oslo,
Okay.
Norway. So I'm going from Boston to Oslo, to Amsterdam. I can have the olive oil braised beef short rib.
Mhm.
I can have the chicken tikka masala,
Mm.
buffalo mozzarella cannelloni,
Ooh, cannelloni, do be nice.
roasted cod and salmon fillets, or the
Yes, I love
braised
fish again.
lamb shoulder.
No, too cute. I don't eat cute animals. You have to do beef, but I think that you went weird. You already chose on this one?
Yep,
I feel like you did weirder and you went like the chicken tikka
tikka
masala.
masala. No, but because I just told you that when I go to places, I like to eat like their stuff. And over in
So you
Scandinavia, it's like a ocean water. So I went with
it
roasted
is?
cod and salmon fillets. Yeah, it's fit like they're islands.
Fish on
Yeah.
a plane feels wrong.
Well, I mean, listen, how do you mess up salmon fillets? You know what I'm saying?
You keep the skin on it.
Yeah, but no, that's what gives it flavor.
Ooh, you
You
like
don't
fish
eat it.
skin?
No, you don't eat it. You don't eat it. It's just
I
on
can't
there like
even
on a
look at
sandwich.
it.
Can you eat sushi?
Well, not the scary kind.
Like, what's the scary kind?
Basically anything that's fish.
That's all of it.
No, 'cause I eat crab and shrimp
Okay.
tempura.
I do like shrimp tempura. Okay, I do like
See?
shrimp tempura. But so you won't eat anything? Like, you won't eat, like, salmon? Like, you won't eat tuna?
It
You
scares
won't
me. I'm
eat
scared of getting a parasite.
but okay.
Sometimes I'll have a piece. You know what? I ate the best ahi when I went to Mexico, and the guy caught it that morning and then brought it to the restaurant to
Yeah, that's
make, and then he, like, had it prepared all these ways, and I ate them like, "Oh, I'll eat that."
yeah, I mean, that does sound good, but okay, so if you went to Japan, would
Oh,
you eat their
I would
sushi?
have some. I would have
Oh,
some,
so
but I'm
good.
scared to put, like, a slab of, like, cold, slimy, wet fish in my
It's
mouth.
not cold,
Oh,
slimy, wet on the sushi, like, I mean, it is cold, but it's not
it's
slimy.
it's damp.
Well, I mean, listen, Jillian, if
I
you're
wanna
gonna go
talk
on
about other things that were damp.
okay,
Tell me
okay,
about t
okay, okay,
retell me for the
okay,
crowd
okay.
stories a couple of girls who like to get after it.
Yeah, here's the problem. I don't I don't I don't know if, like, they would want this out, but,
Well, we
I
don't
mean,
say who they are.
but I think people can guess.
I
Like, if
can't.
I guess people that know them maybe. Okay. So one we talked about we're gonna talk about Jason about his tournament, but let's talk about my tournament, the first ever
Okay.
Tampa Outlaw. And how is the Outlaw different? Let me outlay that first. How is the Outlaw different? Okay.
'Kay.
So the Outlaw is different because it's not all individual registration. It is just basically you can register as a group of 3 if you wanna play
Okay.
on a team. If you wanna bring your team, you can bring a group of 3, and you can be a captain to where you pick the team, so that's a little upgraded price. The group of 3 is a little upgraded price, and
Okay.
then we don't do the draft live via beer chugging. We do it about 60 days out, and that allows us to order you custom jerseys with your size and number, which is a little different from the draft because we just have certain sizes and certain numbers for your draft rounds. And then we do the draft online. We do it a little different. Like I try to even out the team. So like if you take a guy that's up here, you also have to take a guy that's down here at the same time. So that way
Ooh,
it kind of evens each other out.
okay.
And I will say that it worked out pretty well in terms of like skill level wise because like the teams that I thought were going to be the best, that were the best on Saturday, were not the best on Sunday. It was just a weird time, but it was a fun time. I mean, it was still kind of the same social, a lot of drinking, a lot of that. But there was one group that came. And I think when you allow part of your team to come, this is what you're going to get. Boy, we got it. A whole fucking, like a boatload of it, of whatever they were bringing. They brought it, is what I'm saying. And they were just an outstanding personality, like life of the party, but just did not stop. And to me, that's wow, because they're my age, right? I'm a man, I'm 40. They're a woman in their 40s, right? Or close anyway.
Yeah.
And they just partied hard. Like it was nonstop in like the WhatsApp group. Listen, and this is the type of girls they are. Like we've done stories on our blogs about them. One team is like the Money Shots, and they go do pond hockeys, and they have like this drink that's white, milky, creamy that they pour on everyone's face. Obviously, because it's a money shot.
Why is that?
That's a money shot. You never had nobody's money shotted you before? Fucking
Can you
Rob, come on, bud. Come on, Rod. Get with the program over here.
Well, he had one at least. I mean, I had one kid.
Well, listen, it's weird because like I am a scientist, not a doctor, but I could be. But I do know that if you ejaculate on a woman's face, that doesn't get her pregnant. So that would be what a money shot would be. That's just, I think, right?
Yeah.
So maybe you haven't.
I mean, you have the degree, not me. So I trust what you have to say.
Okay. Well, I'm just letting you know if it goes in this area.
Thank God you're here to explain this.
That's not how you make a baby.
Oh, shoot.
It's got to go.
Rob, you did it wrong.
You're doing it wrong. Come back over here.
Wait, but he told me that.
Just that's how we do it. Just do that. But like their money shots, like they have like the weird names on the back of jersey, like Wilma Dickfit is one of the names.
Yeah.
Squirter. Yeah. They're just that girl. They have another team that's called In Sync, and it's basically talking about their periods, and like the logo is like a bloody tampon on the front. So I
like it all up until the bloody tampon.
But what, you draw the line there?
You could do a clean one, a clean tampon, maybe.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't know. Then it wouldn't look like. I mean, how do you logoize a tampon?
You don't know what a tampon looks like?
Well, yeah, but it could look like other things. Like what's that? What's that white rocket on your jersey? Right? It's
Oh, God forbid they for a second think it's a white rocket versus a tampon.
But if your name is In Sync and you do a white rocket, you're like, what is that? So they had to let people know that this. They just had it's a joke. They bring it all together.
I didn't know it was a joke.
Yeah, no, it's just a joke. It's just a joke.
Oh,
down. God,
what?
Fucking mom, like all in this. All serious.
Oh, how dare they? Are they married?
Who?
Are they all single? Girls? All these women's.
Wilma Dickfit is for sure married.
I want to meet their partners.
Three are married, and one was not.
Fun.
All right, and
I need to get a hold of them.
One just had a baby like 16 months ago. So
okay, that's not really just.
But you know what? In the grand scheme of things, like that's pretty young. Like, and the baby, like the husband and the baby came on the last day when it was more tame. So, cute baby.
Okay.
But anyway, and so like they were partying all, like we'd be in the WhatsApp and there'd be like pictures of bare butts on people's faces, and they wanted to create content for me. They wanted to, and I
am making the proposal to be their content manager.
No, they wanted to make content for us, for BLPA. They're like, let us be on your podcast. And I'm like, here's the deal. We say
it has to be you, but it's just your butt cheeks. Looks like your butt cheeks are talking.
Excuse me, my ass.
I'm not. I'm not even gonna do it. I'm leaving the joke.
Leave
the joke. No, leave the joke behind. No, off camera.
And so like one of the things they one of the things they wanted to do is they wanted to find a guy that was up to do this, and they did find one, I think, but they wanted to play hockey all day, and then they wanted this guy to take their underoos and
underooskies
and smell them. And then see if the guy could pick out which one was which. by their fragrance. And the guy,
I hate it.
and the guy
But
was like, no, because I know what you'll get one of your guys on your team to rub it on his balls and put it. And I'm like, listen, I'm a very trustworthy person. I'll do the
I'll
handoff.
watch them remove their underwear and hand it to
Then
you.
I'll smell it. I'll put it. And
Mm.
the guy was down. The guy was like, "Oh yeah,
Well, of course he was. I think you could probably have
and
a large population of men, and they would
so
agree.
Sunday, the craziest one of the bunch, I feel. I mean, I
Okay.
could be wrong. I've just been around them 1.5 night, and she was like, "All right, everyone, give your underwear," and then 2 of them backed out.
Oh, but there
So
were still 2?
there were still 2, but
50-50 raffle.
yeah, 50-50, but it's not. Then the other ones were like, "Oh, if not everyone's doing it, I'm not gonna do it."
Oh, sure. Yeah,
Sure.
easy way to get off.
But I thought that would be funny content,
Absolutely.
but I don't. I'm not sure how far we can go before we get the old cancel bug.
It's your club.
I know. Well, I know.
Who's canceling?
Who knows? I don't know if you know this, but I don't want to get canceled.
What? I do.
No, well, I mean, I
You
think
yeah, you had Facebook saying, "Oh, you're not following the rules, so you don't get a monetize or something."
yeah. I mean, listen, I don't know if Facebook frowns upon us putting dirty, sweaty girls' panties in dudes' faces for the
Hey, that ends
lulz.
up on my Instagram algorithm somehow, so it's out there. Maybe
Oh,
we'll start mild, like penalty shots off their rumpus.
penalty shots? What
Yeah.
about shots? What about
Oh,
just
wait.
icing shots?
I
Money
forgot.
shots?
I was combining, like, a soccer shot, like a like, planted or, like, golf tee. Have you seen, like, when they stick a golf tee in their butt crack and then try to, like, swing and hit a golf ball off that? So I'm picturing just a puck on the
A
butt
puck butt?
cheek. A puck butt cheek, and then someone's just trying to hit the puck off into the net.
Okay, so I just want to let you know about our interview.
Tell
We
me,
cannot go until 1 p.m. JST,
what's J?
Japan Standard Time.
Wait, did you say you were talking 1 PM your time and he thought this whole time it was
No,
1 PM his time?
no, it is 1 p.m. his time, but
Oh,
the
wait,
the
yeah,
problem
yours.
is they don't do daylight savings time over there.
Oh, so it's
So he
an
thought
hour and a half from now.
well, it's 30 minutes from now when you need to go watch your show. So
Oh, shoot.
me,
Well,
me and you will just talk until
no. Okay,
I don't listen. This is you and Rob Rod's time.
that's true.
There could be some money shouting going on, and
Well, when
I would never take that away from Rod. You know what I'm saying? I would
what about
never.
me? Take it away from me, I'll stay here.
Rod, handle it yourself, bro. You know?
I just really wanted crumble cookies today.
But were you gonna go get them? 'Cause they're gonna be closed by
No,
that
but I do
time.
have an Uncrustable that's thawing on the counter.
Ooh, that'd be good. Can you
That
eat it?
is
Can you eat it? That would be BLP After Dark material. What flavor?
what do you think? Peanut butter and jelly.
No, but there's a flavor of jelly.
It's grape.
Because they have grape, and they have strawberry, and they have honey, but now they also have
Uh,
raspberry.
they also have Nutella.
Ooh, that's fire, by the way. That's my favorite.
I would just get a jar of Nutella and eat it
But
before
it's
I
not
got an Uncrustable with Nutella
but
in
it's
it.
not with bread that's chilled.
Chilled bread and Nutella is the way to go. I can't believe that somehow this is more or what? This is more interesting than what we were just talking
Well,
about.
no, it's not okay, let's go back to this, okay.
Okay, let's go
Let
back.
me but here was my one question. I didn't broach it anywhere but in my head,
Okay.
you know, because here's how I feel. Like, it's like I'm surrounded by these girls making these jokes, and I can also do those jokes, but I don't know
Yeah, but you
when
can't.
yeah, because I own the company, right? So when can I like, what's my line is the real thing. Like, do I need to make people sign, like, consent waivers, like, when they went into Diddy parties and basically
Mm,
he could do whatever he wanted to do?
it's
I mean,
exactly like that, yeah.
I don't wanna do it just like that, but what I'm saying is, I kinda feel like when that's what's going around, that any sane person would know would assume that they
Mhm.
could also get on that level. They could get down in the mud and play, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm, mhm,
But
mhm, that's opening the door.
that's not how the world works sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm picking up what you're laying down. I'm smelling what you're stepping in, or I'm
Like
smelling what you're leaving in your panties.
like like sometimes you're in a Snapchat group with a bunch of people that are making jokes and like putting big black dildos on locker rooms and putting them in people's faces and even like photoshopping them into their faces on their snaps. But then
What's that group?
but then you put a filter on that makes your nose long and wiggle like this.
Yeah.
And now you're the bad guy. You know, like, you know,
Are you okay, by the way? Are you good? Have you recovered?
it's just one of those things. I'm just like, what?
Uh.
Why is why is that wrong? But like the big black dick that you call the destroyer that you're putting in photoshopping in people's faces is not wrong. Like it's a weird trying to find that line, right? And
You found it.
and so yeah. So my one question was like, okay, if this man had never experienced the fragrance of each participant,
Right.
how would he make an educated guess?
Yeah.
So I guess he would just have to just kind of go off this
Just vibes.
this smells what you look like.
Ew. Or they should do it like at the beginning of the day and then the end of the day.
Try to match him up.
Yeah.
Like match smells. Okay.
Yeah, just like must intensified.
Listen, Jillian will not be making her fragrance available in Salt Lake City. I know that
That's true.
some people thought that she was going to be streaking in where was that? In Savannah.
Yeah.
I don't
Rumors
really
got out of
remember it.
hand.
I don't know if she actually said that, but did you say that? Did you say you were gonna be streaking in
Probably.
Savannah?
But I think I was gonna wear a blue man suit.
Okay, so it's not really streaking.
Right, because that was all the headlines. It was when they're like, "Oh, man in a green suit
Oh,
streaking at the game," and I'm like, "He's not streaking. He's wearing a suit." But
but
whatever.
then you probably said, "I'm gonna go streaking,"
Yeah,
but thinking that it was gonna be, uh,
it's wearing a suit.
yeah. So I'm gonna tell him that we're gonna be here. I'm gonna be here at that time
You,
because I
I
want this
won't.
interview for the people. You won't
You
be.
what?
That's okay. You won't be here. I'll be here. And let me just just so we can talk about it, so we can have a
Yeah,
little lead up to it. I'm gonna show the video,
yeah,
so you're here, so we can talk about it, and you can ask your questions about Japan. And then if you're not here, like maybe you can just stick around long enough to say, "Hey, dude, what's up, bro?" And then you know, and
yeah.
then you can go.
I
Okay.
always try to be in bed by 9:30. Actually, by 9, but that's
All
not
right.
happening.
Here we go. All right. So
Okay.
basically, here's the story. I was scrolling through and I saw this. And I don't know if you know this, but I'm sure you do by now. I love Japan.
Yes, I do
I
know
love
this.
it. You actually asked me if I would move there, and I said yes. And you said, "Why don't you?" There's a lot of reasons why I haven't yet, but if I was to move somewhere and I could go anywhere in the world, I would move to Japan for a few reasons.
Yeah.
One, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Two, it's so orderly. Like you know where things are going to be, when they're going to happen. You don't have to guess, right?
Yeah.
Three, it's very clean.
Mhm.
I am not a clean, organized person, but
Yeah,
I
I
do
can see.
respect those people. I do respect those people that are clean and organized, right?
Yes.
And I love it that it's clean and organized, right?
Yep.
And four, it's just got so much cool shit going on over there all the time.
Yeah.
Like even like in Italy, like I see these TikToks and it's like people like, how do you go from this? And it's like all these beautiful scenes to Italy and then to this, and it's back here in North America. And it's just like boring, drab bullshit,
Okay,
you
they
know?
pick
Yeah, but
alright,
I
whatever. I
know,
have a lot to say about that. Fine,
but
let 'em have their
but
video.
but what I'm saying is that it is a lot like that. Like there are shitty places, like, but we don't have like the fucking badass architecture and history of Italy. I mean, shit was happening in fucking 44 BC. Caesar was the fucking, just hanging out.
True,
Ides
we
of
do
March
not have
are
a
upon it,
policy.
that stuff, and he got fucking stabbed like a long time ago, and then they just made all that art shit. It's
Yeah.
just so much. We don't have that in the States, right?
Yeah.
And so, we don't
But we
have
do
like
have ranch.
ranch. We do have ranch dressing.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we do have ranch dressing. And, That's probably what I'm going to take over to Scandinavia is just bottles of ranch. Here's a ranch, bud.
Yes.
But honestly, like the best part about Japan for me, like I love the convenience stores over there, like because they have everything and weird shit. Like they have these little. This isn't weird, but they have like these little coffees, and they're like this big, and you just go in and they come with their straw, and you poke the straw through like you're drinking a Capri Sun.
Yeah.
And I could just fucking slurp those things up all fucking day.
I heard that.
All fucking day, just slurping them. But they have like ice cream in like a square that's actually a squeezy tube, and you let it melt a little, and you can squeeze it out of the squeeze. It's so good. It is so good. Like you would be like, oh my god.
You have to buy a couple Japanese candies now to send back, and Scandinavian ones.
I will get you stuff for sure, and and just their egg sandwiches are like the whole deal. Like people go to their 7-Eleven, and it's like, but they also have like they're like just rice cakes in there. Like they just have everything that our convenience stores don't have. Like where our convenience stores have a bunch of shit junk food, they have like healthy, good food, like full meal food in there. Like it's just incredible. Like they're incredible.
It's just better. That's what I wanted to ask him is like, we always see the videos of, Japan is living in the year 3000. Like what are those things? Tell me what they are. Your favorite thing of that.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite is a convenience
Let me know what he
stores,
says.
sure. Yeah. I know I will, but no. And so I was scrolling through, Instagram reels or something one day, and I saw this. I actually saw it on a different thing, but then it put his name in it. So I reached out, but it's basically that's at a hockey rink and right behind a bench, and you can just kind of walk back there and get your water, or I can get them fucking.
But do they have that hot chocolate machine with like the little styrofoam cup that comes down and hold with the 2 metal pieces on the side?
I don't think they do styrofoam, and I didn't see really any styrofoam. But I'm sure they have it. If it's something cool, yeah, they probably got it.
Yeah, but that's just like what I think of when you go to the ice rink.
And then they have like Don Quixote. Oh man, Don Quixote. That store is so bomb. Don Quixote. That
sounds like O'Reilly. Is that the same?
Auto parts. But no, it's just Japan is just such a cool place. And so we're going in October to Japan. And I know I'm kind of putting cart before the horse because we're going to Scandinavia, and I should be talking more about that. And I am excited about Scandinavia, but most people don't get to see this side of the worldwide, but just dealing with travel agents is a fucking bear, man, especially bad ones. And I feel we've got a bad one, and they did Italy and Scandinavia. And it's actually what prompted me to go, listen, instead of dealing with a travel agent that's dealing with another travel agent, and I can't deal with the actual travel agent, I have to deal with a middle travel agent. I should just become the travel agent. So that's what I've done.
That's your next thing.
Well, I am right now.
Oh, Lord.
And so that's what Japan is, the first one where we do everything from front to back. Everything's on us. And so, so we're going there in October. And then I had a couple people reach out and say, hey, I really want to go in October, but I just can't make it work. Can we do one in 2026? And I'm like, what about January? And they're like, yeah. So now we're building a January, and I think we're up to like 7 of 11 players. So going back.
Dang. So people want to travel the world.
Oh yeah. So
see, we were supposed to ramp up the interview, and then we ended up talking for 30 minutes. This is the issue.
But we're good. We're good at it. We're damn good.
Well, we do it. And I don't know if we're qualified.
I feel good. I feel good about it. I mean, here's the deal. Like, we've never met each other in person, Jillian.
That you know of.
Yeah. I mean, you could
have had a layover when I was at the airport in Minnesota.
I feel we're friends, and it's just, this is like our hangout time. Besties.
Bestie from another testy is what I say.
Okay. Let's go.
Bring it back full circle.
I mean, listen, maybe it'll be different if I ever meet Anna. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because she's pretty cool.
Yeah, true.
Even though, I mean, she was starstruck that first time she came on the podcast.
That's true. She just doesn't know how to interrupt people as well yet. It just takes a couple times.
But you would, I mean, but there's always like a different dynamic from sister to sister, and maybe you just got the interrupting gene.
I just maybe like attention more, which is weird because it's usually her. She's like the louder one.
Which is weird because you told me, I don't know if I can talk about our off-air conversations.
Oh my God, I don't even know.
But you told me that like you don't want to be that. Like you don't want the attention.
Very true.
Which is wild because you have the personality that screams, give me
screams, look at me, pay attention to me.
I'm here, It's the same one I have, right? I have that same.
Yeah.
But you know what's weird is someone said to me, it's like when you're not on a microphone, like your demeanor is way more like laid back.
I'm shy.
I'm not shy, but you know what I'm saying? I don't have to be like if I'm not on a microphone or in front of a crowd, like I'm not like the big,
Yeah.
and loud. I'm just
Yeah.
we're like coming and taking it and looking at the stories and watching people make plans to smell dirty panties, that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
So
Let them have their moment.
yeah, so it is kind of weird, but because when I talk to you, because we've never met
Yeah.
offline, so maybe you just have kind of that same syndrome that on camera, here I am.
I take up the space that I need to take up. That's what
You're
happens.
a chameleon.
I'm a cajillion.
You're the cajillion chameleon?
Yeah.
Wild.
It just
Wild.
cut it off.
So, but anyway,
Anyway.
we have been talking for 35 minutes.
All right.
I am going to get
Get
this
me out of
interview.
here.
I'm going to get this interview in.
Yeah, you are.
I'll ask your questions. If
Yeah.
you have any other questions you would
I
like.
did send them to you.
Hold
Just
on.
say you hated them. Just say it.
No, I didn't even read them.
It was days ago.
Yeah, no, I
Wow.
understand that it was days ago. Oh my, it was way days ago. It was even before we were live.
Yeah.
Oh boy. But then, hold on. I sent it. You said for a podcast. Okay, let me just read your question. So there,
Okay.
I was going to say something sentimental-ish. Who helped foster your love for hockey? What would you tell them today? Worst on ice injury?
I don't
Any
care about
game
that
day
as much.
superstitions or rituals?
I
Most
like that.
underrated skill in hockey fan? In hockey
comma.
fans? No punctuation. That's that's not me. I'm
Skill
reading.
and
Just
actually,
noticing
it doesn't need a comma. You just read it weird.
most underrated skill in hockey fans don't appreciate enough.
Don't care about that.
That doesn't need a That doesn't need a comma.
Most underrated skill in hockey that fans don't appreciate it.
Yeah,
It
well, you
just
didn't
needs
put
a
that
word.
or a comma, so yeah, that sucks.
Okay. If you could change one rule, what would it be? And a pregame hype song. Get it on my playlist.
You have them memorized? Oh, you know what? I hope it's a Japanese song. Not like
I would sing them, but I don't want it to be.
What about Korean one?
Okay. Yeah. Could be that.
Kissy face, kiss to your phone.
I'd like to hear from him though.
To real. You want to hear him sing it? I can ask him.
I want to hear his song, yes.
Okay.
And him sing it.
Okay, those are them. All right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to end this stream right now.
Okay.
So that way I know where to cut it when the interview is going to happen. So I'm going to end this. We're here. I told you we're going to do interviews with beer leaguers all around the world. And this is kind of our first one. We've done some more, but this is our first one. We got Ludgate here. Ludgate, what's going on, my man? How you doing?
Hi, Nick. Having a good time, living it up in Tokyo. Recently, I heard daylight savings time hit the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Messing up a couple of things over here.
Yeah, I was actually in Tampa Bay. I was in Tampa Bay this weekend playing hockey, and our first game was at 7:30, which was actually 6:30 because that's when the daylight savings time hit. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. So,
oh, that's brutal.
So
was it a morning game or a night game?
No, it was a morning game. It was 7:30 in the morning. So it was like we're playing at 6:30 a.m. So it wasn't any fun at all. So, so it's good to hear that Japan doesn't do daylight savings time. But Ludgate is from lives in Tokyo, Japan, and obviously that's why we're talking to him, because you guys know I love Japan. We went over there last May. We're going again this October, and then we actually just planned another one for January of 2026. So we're going over a lot to play hockey because, listen, people need to experience Japan, in my opinion. Like, it's just such a cool, different, unique place, and especially different from North America. And what's great about you is that you're actually from the States. You're from San Francisco. You've lived in Boston as well, but now you're living in Tokyo. So I guess the number one thing to ask you, and I'm doing this for Jillian, who's our host, who couldn't be here tonight because her baby started crying and all that stuff. But her number one question was, you always hear how like Japan is living in year 3000 compared to other places. So what is one of the coolest Japan's living in the future type things that you like about Japan?
You got to say the trains. It's unbelievable. Like public transit here is unreal, and no matter where you go in the country, you can have like relatively good accessibility to anything with just a couple of dollars. Um, so the trains are like far, far in the future. They finally do non-cash payments now. That was one of the things that was lagging. Um, another thing that's lagging though is in the year 3000, you be lots of hockey, right?
Oh, for sure. For sure. Speaking of, look, I still have my Sika card right here on my phone. Still got 6,000 yen, so I'm ready to roll when I go over there, eh? But yeah,
Yeah.
there isn't a ton of hockey, but here's what's crazy, and I'll tell you how I
Yeah.
got into going to Japan to play hockey the first time ever. So I didn't grow up playing hockey. I married a Canadian and didn't start. She made me start playing hockey when I was 30. And before that, I had to have an emergency appendectomy. And they popped me up on all the pain medicine, all this stuff. And when I got better, my wife said, "Hey, what's the deal with you in Japan?" I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, "Well, when you were on your pain meds, all you talked about was going to Japan to play hockey, and you don't even play hockey." And so when I started playing hockey, like my number one goal was like, all right, now I got to go to Japan and play hockey. And so now I have, and you're right, there's not a ton of hockey, but the first time I went there, what was crazy is I flew into Narita and I took the train to Shinjuku Station, which, by the way, train stations in Tokyo are just, they're wild. Like it's like a city within itself in every train station. But I'm walking around, so I have my hockey gear, but I also have my bags because I wasn't up to date on Yamato Transport. Could ship my bags all over the place for me. So I'm carrying, like I was on the train with all this stuff, and then I'm carrying it, and I look over and I see a young Japanese kid with like a Bauer backpack and a hockey stick, and like he knew no English because I tried to talk to him, he did, but he knew hockey. Hockey, and that was it. And we were like, oh, cool, now we're hockey bros, right? So that was pretty crazy. So there's not a ton of rinks in Japan at all. At Tokyo, there's a few of them. Nagano, obviously, a couple in Osaka, and obviously Okinawa has one because there's a huge military presence out there. But tell us a little bit about the hockey in Japan and how it's different from the States.
Oh man, there's a million with hockey in Japan. Oh, but I guess like one of the biggest differences. Well, there's the ice rink is like international standards instead of like NHL standard or North American standard. So it's a
Yep.
bit wider. So it's going to be a bit more like the KHL, like skill based. Not as like hard checking. They still go hard. Don't get me wrong, but it actually came here to play university hockey, and one of the funny things here though is people don't really care as much about their dental work. So they're okay with going half visor like right away, which was pretty kind of a culture shock moment. But it's nice to rock the visor because it's easier to breathe, and if it's not as hard hitting, you know where to hit and where not to hit and stuff. And
Oh, for
you
sure.
can have better vision on the ice.
Yeah.
Um, but the culture here, what you will notice, I think, pretty soon is, especially within the hockey community, there's actually its own unique, vibrant, like domestic hockey community that's actually been around for a really long time. I went to Sophia University, and I believe our hockey club there is actually like the one of the four oldest sports teams within the school,
Oh,
which means that it just has like a lot of history. And there's actually teams that have been around for like over 100 years as well. But the big thing I think that's really creating a disconnect is getting that first player over to the NHL. It's domestically produced, but
yes.
it's
Isn't there one coming? Like
really fun
there
here.
was a couple years ago, the kid that was training with Pavel Barber.
Yeah, the Aito Iguchi. So, of course, the Japanese people we're built a bit
Mhm.
smaller, so the usually it could be a problem when getting into like junior
Yeah.
levels. Um, Aito ended up going to Meiji University, and he's still like strong domestically, but maybe I don't know if he's um, still pursuing going.
Okay.
On the other hand, though, there's a couple of guys out there that are playing in like ECHL and lower tier leagues, still trying to get like a day or two in the show. Uh, so it's interesting to follow them. I believe there's especially like one guy. This I think it's Yuichiro Hirano. He's he played in the AHL affiliate team for the Vancouver Canucks.
Okay.
I think they're called like the Frontenacs, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he was the closest to getting to the NHL. And then of course there's players such as let's see, like Nick Suzuki and Kyler Yamamoto, where they have some sort of Japanese, even though they're more or less just Canadian now. There's so many generations off, but they still got Japanese names, so
Yeah.
that
Well,
always helps to kind of like
like I'm
market it.
looking,
Yeah,
and there was one that made his NHL debut in 2007. Yutaka Fukufuji played with
oh yeah,
LA
the
Kings.
goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, I mean
he's a
there are some.
legend.
Yeah, there are some pro players. So here's what's crazy. Like I grew up playing baseball. Baseball's huge in Japan. Uh, and obviously Shohei Ohtani, best player in the world right now. But when I went over to Japan, that's the one thing that outside of the hockey stuff that I wanted to do is I wanted to go see a baseball game because when I was young, I remember watching Mr. Baseball with Tom Selleck. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie, but it's about a guy that played for the Yankees and he got shipped over to like the Tokyo Dragons. And like I remember
Yeah,
watching it. It's like got the people with the ramen in the crowd. I'm like, is it really like that? And so I went, and the first game I saw was in Yokohama, and
yeah,
though man, though it was wild. Like a seventh inning, I'm in the outfield, all the chance. They brought these big balloons out in seventh. They gave us all a balloon, blew it up, and then you let it go. And it was insane. And so, how is there like a higher level, almost, I don't want to say pro, but is there like a higher level hockey league where that gets fans out to watch in Japan? And if so, do they cheer and go crazy like they do for baseball?
yeah. Absolutely. There's actually been a league here for the longest time. It's called the Asia League.
Okay.
But the huge issue, I guess, like the big disconnect with basketball or baseball compared to hockey, because hockey actually used to be a popular sport professionally in Japan.
Oh wow.
And there's a team. There used to be a pro team in Kushiro. It collapsed, but there's still a team in Oji Hokkaido, a team in Hachinohe in Aomori, and a team in Nikko, where Toshoku Jinja, it's a World Heritage Site, is located. You'll see these random orange banners outside of like soba shops and restaurants and stuff. And you're like, what's going on? And it's like those are for the pro hockey team, and they're
Oh
diehard
wow.
fans. Bucks. And Yokohama recently actually got a pro team. They're called the Yokohama Grits, and it's picking up really quick because it's the only team located in like a large metropolis. So
Hmm.
I think like I mentioned earlier, the hockey is one of the things that's not in year 3000, and the big thing is having professional hockey in the major cities
Hmm.
has not been done yet. And if you have a hockey team in the center of Tokyo, hockey team in the center of Osaka, a hockey team in the center of Nagoya, and a hockey team in the center of Fukuoka, suddenly you'll have a league that has 10 teams and a lot more competition and fans. But it's all
Yeah,
about just convincing people that this is the future.
well, and it's also, I mean, it's also access to ice too, because that was always the hardest
Yeah.
part for us, especially when planning like our drafts. Like we had to go to Nagano, Karuizawa, to play because that's the only rink that we could get to agree to give us ice. And I don't know.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a different culture, and the working with the white people, is a little different, right? I mean, it seemed like it was way easier for me the second time in May when I just contacted someone on Upwork and was like, "Hey, can you be my translator? I just need to book ice here." And she contacted a bunch of different places, but Karuizawa was the only one that said, "Oh yeah, we can work with you." And so
Yeah.
the cultural difference still there, especially the language. Like I know, listen, I'm on day 89 streak of Duolingo, learning, Japanese. So I got like the konnichiwa, jane, all that good stuff going. But the one thing I don't understand is why there's 3 alphabets.
Yeah, don't get me started with the learn.
Yeah, no,
That that is quite the monumental effort. But
no,
I think
I mean,
speaking wise, you can get around to it, especially if you join the hockey community. Most of the people actually speak only Japanese if you go deeper into it, and the it'll be a great way to communicate. And
mhm. Well,
it's actually kind of the reason why I joined hockey from the university level to actually get into the locker room and be forced to learn kind of like the rigid Japanese mannerisms in speaking because everything was run in Japanese. It's
mhm.
interesting.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it is, and you're right. It is a tough. And listen, everyone says English is the hardest language, but obviously, I grew up with it, so it's not hard. But it's just for me, it's like when you go, like I'm going through the Duolingo stuff, and there's hiragana and katakana, and I'm just like, but why? Like, why is it like it's the same sounds? Why not just use the same? But I haven't delved into it. I just know I'm learning my third set now, so I can move on, and my kid is way ahead of me on it, and so I'm like, God, man. But what what is
Oh,
like
it's cool.
you said you lived in Boston. I'm actually going to Boston this weekend for a hockey tournament. And what part of Boston did you play in?
Oh. So I grew up in Central Mass, so between like around Northborough,
Okay.
Southborough area. So near the New
Okay.
England Sports
Big
Center, that'd
facility.
be one of the most
Yeah.
frequent rinks. And then there's a area called North
Yep.
Star. That's in Westborough, Massachusetts, and then nearby New England Sports Center, there's the Navin Ice Arena,
Yep.
which belongs to a public high school. Which that's the sort of thing you'll never see here, but it'd be really cool if that was the case.
Yeah.
Like, imagine having a high school or a university that has their own hockey
Well,
rink.
when we talk about growing the
Yeah.
game, you live in Tokyo. How many rinks are actually in the Tokyo area? I think I know of one.
Within the greater Tokyo, or I guess like within the Tokyo area, like the prefecture Tokyo, I believe there used to be 4. Now there might be 6.
Oh, okay.
So there's Meiji Jingu in
Yep.
Sendagai. It's right across from the National Stadium.
Mhm.
There's also, and that's where the Family Mart video is taken.
Yeah.
There's also Higashi Fushimi. So that was where the old professional team for Seibu used to play. And that's where all the tournaments and stuff are held because it has like proper arena seating. But that's on the west side of Tokyo with you go along the Seibu Shinjuku line. You go a little further down that you also have Higashi Yamato. And that one's more like your classic style rink. Um, and then there's this one place in Edogawa called Edogawa Sportsland where it's a pool in the summer, but they turn it into a rink in the winter.
Oh, okay.
Um, but it's a proper standard rink, and that's actually a similar format to how Jingu was created too, because they were trying to think of, oh, you only do ice skating in the winter time, but then figure skating really picked up in Japan to train year round. So Jingu was able to convert to be only a skate rink, which is nice. Um, building. There's actually 2 new rinks this year. So one, it's already finished, and it was made by the figure skater, Olympic figure skater Mao. She was able to get her own rink. It's called Mao Arena, and it's located in Tachikawa. And then there's another rink that's being created now in this area called Tatsumi in Kotoku. So a bit more central. I would say like a 30-minute drive from Jingu. But it's pretty close by. They turned the Olympic Stadium for swimming into an ice rink. So they're filling inside the Olympic pool and putting ice rink on top, keep the arena seats and like the screens
Oh,
and
that's
stuff.
great.
So
Right on.
hopefully, well, we're making up rumors, but hopefully there's a pro team that might be able to find a home there. Fingers
So
crossed.
okay, so what about? I mean, we call it beer league, obviously, like that's our adult league, right? And that's
Yeah.
kind of what we're made, the Beer League Players Association. So, we're gonna come over in October, and we want to play 2 games in Tokyo, and we want to play 2 games in Osaka. That's kind of our trip, right? So we have 10 days, 9 nights, and we're gonna spend 4 days in Tokyo, and then we're gonna take the bullet train to Osaka. We're gonna spend 3 or 4 days there, and then head back. What is the adult hockey scene like there? And I know that you're probably gonna say the Tokyo Canadiens. That seems to be one that everybody kind of knows when you talk about Japan. But outside of those guys, like what kind of teams can we maybe look for to play? And how do we get ice and say, hey, we want to play you? Because listen, we're not going to be good. Like we're low level. Like when we went to Italy, we got our butts kicked by these guys because they thought we were coming in and we were high level players, but none of us are. Like we're all like your low level D leaguers, right? So,
Sure.
what's kind of the adult like league wide like how does it work there? Like how do you find teams to play and all that stuff?
Well, it really depends. But if you're looking in like different regions, I'm really familiar with
Mhm.
Tokyo. General way would just be to reach out to individual teams. And right now it's a bit scattered because a lot of teams they operate differently. Like how either you need to know a guy to find the main person that's running the team, and then you get their line account and you direct message them. The way I actually found my university team, they had a website, thank goodness, and then on the website there's an email to contact. And many of the teams actually do have these websites, but you don't know to look for. Now, what's kind of, I guess, like would be a kind of like big brain tactic or something where you can kind of like grind out and figure out a bunch of team names is to just look up the area and hockey league in Japanese.
Mhm.
There might be like some sort of like a tournament sheet or list, and it might have the divisions listed out. So for beer league, there's 4 divisions. The top is called S League, and that's like kind of semi-professional. Like there's corporate sponsors and stuff. Um, and it's like full check, pretty intense. All the guys used to play D1, that sort of thing. Then there's the U League, and within U League there's 3 divisions: U League 1, U League 2, and U League 3. So overall, there's like up to like 25 to 30 teams
Oh wow.
within the area. So there's many to reach out to, but within U League, it's like 8 teams per division. And
Yeah.
then U League 3, at any time, a new team could be created long. It's like the whole year round.
Yeah.
Very few games. But through there, I think that would be the easiest way names. So then you'll look up a team name and like Hokke, for example.
Yeah.
And usually a team site should pop up or something, and you can email them that way.
Okay.
Another way is to reach out to the actual league and be like, "Hey, do you know the contacts for these teams? I would like to try to organize like practice matches with them or something."
Okay.
Um, so it's good to get a local guy
Yeah.
though on deck if you can. Um, One of the things though, kind of strange but still relevant is you mentioned you're going to do a tournament in Tokyo and a tournament in Osaka. Would there be any interest in trying to create a new tournament in Kyoto?
Yes. For me, like, I would love to create a lot of things. What we're doing though,
Yeah.
in Tokyo and Osaka is like, I'm literally just building a team. We don't even know each other. Like, we've never played with each other, but we're just going to go over and like, it's not like our draft. It's more like,
Yeah.
they come over, we plan the whole tour. Like, we plan the whole 10 days, like the hotels, the transportation, the tours
Yeah.
around Japan. And then we just schedule some friendly matches. So I would just be looking for 2
Oh,
games in
okay.
Tokyo, 2 games in Osaka.
Yeah.
But yes, Kyoto, I've never been to Kyoto. And so for this trip, um, when I went in May for the draft in
Yeah.
Nagano, I had told my kid, "Hey, you like Disney. We can go over and go to Tokyo Disney." But then the tournament didn't fill up, so we didn't really have the extra funds to do it. And so I had to say, "Sorry, bud, you can't go this time. But if I ever go back to Japan, you can come." So when I started this idea, he's like, "Dad, you said I could come." Um, and so yeah, and so,
Oh.
like, he's not gonna, like, stay for, like, our hockey stuff, so I have to go out, like 10 days early or, 9 days early so we can do, like, the stuff for my kid. So my wife and kid will come, and then I'll put them back on a plane, back over, and then I'll have, like, 4 days. So I wanted to, like, go out to Kyoto and Hiroshima, just to check it out. But, yeah, I mean, if we could do a tournament or put one together, I think we can make it cool and successful. I don't know if you wanna do a draft style or whatever. The hard
Uh,
part.
well, draft style would probably be more ideal. Of stuff involved.
Yes.
But the reason why I brought up Kyoto specifically is it's usually like a bustling city.
Yep.
It's a mess with tourism. However, January, February, which is like peak season for hockey, happens to be low season for travel. So
Mhm.
the hotel rate should be cheap.
Yep.
And it also happens to be when the student leagues, the so like in the US, like semester or North America, semesters would last from like September. You have like a short winter break, and then it goes all the way to May. And the semesters, there's 2 semesters, and one starts from April and ends in July, and the other one starts in September and ends January.
Okay.
Now, but that means like the leagues too, like the school leagues, they don't run during break. So during that 2 month gap, which means that there should be a lot of openings at the rinks.
Okay.
So it's this like combination of like availability, cost, and opportunity for like hockey to get like a big spotlight in an otherwise like famous city and where it's not
Yeah.
too well known.
I mean, that would be
Yeah,
really cool. And for us, I mean, the hard part about, hockey, I mean, as you know, in the States, it's pretty expensive sport. It's probably the most expensive sport, when you start knocking. I mean, baseball, you can just go outside and start playing. Basketball, you can find
yeah,
outdoor hoops, soccer. But hockey, I mean, you have
yeah,
like ice cost is expensive, and it's the same in Japan. It's not. I mean, ice cost isn't like crazy expensive, but also the
yeah.
cost of living is a lot lower. The salaries are a lot lower, so it's harder to kind of, do hockey stuff. There, I would imagine for a lot of the locals. That's what I found when we went to Kurizawa, because we did have a guy that coaches at the university up there. He brought some of the
Yeah.
kids out, and obviously they, like, they really couldn't afford to pay, but I wanted to play with him. I remember one of the refs played at the university, and he was really good, but he knew 0 English. The only thing he knew was "fuck you," which was, we just kinda smiling like, "Hey, fuck you, bud." And he's like, "Hell yeah, fuck you." And you're like, "Okay, let's go." Um, and, yeah, but I mean, I would love to, walk down that path and see if we can create something cool that every January we come out and have a big thing and make cool jerseys. I don't know if you saw, like, our jerseys from Japan, like, they were,
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z themed. Everyone seemed to get a big kick out of them out in Japan. So, um, yeah, I think yeah,
Oh,
I'll
nice.
send you a picture. If I haven't sent you a picture, I'll send you some more pictures. So, and then we did like in Charleston this year, we did like a One Piece theme. So all One Piece. And I figured that would go over pretty well in Japan too. But, But what would you,
Yeah.
I mean, what would you suggest? I mean, for us, like, how do we get like, let's say we want the friendly, like, obviously we have to contact the teams, but you know, it seems like it is a pain in the butt to get ice, to rent ice as just even a foreigner, but it seems like even locals have a hard time getting an ice time every now and again. Is that true?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, a lot of these ice times, the rinks like to, hedge their own risk, so they like to have like guaranteed money. And the better ice times, of course, are going to be in higher demand than the tougher ones. Um, you so things that are more like friendly for like works, right?
Yeah.
So, personally, I go skating at 10:45
Yep.
p.m. So I get home around like one in the morning, because it's an hour and a half ice session, so it ends at 12:15, and and this could be tough, especially if you don't schedule properly. But then there's two more ice times after, right? So there's one from 12:30 a.m. to 2 a.m. and then another one from 2:15 a.m. and until like 3:45. If
But
you
no
got
transit,
that
right?
the last ice time, yeah, there's no transit, so you
Yeah.
need to have a car or a buddy with a car, right? Or you just sleep
Yep.
overnight there. And that also kind of happens. Like the university kids here really go hard because they usually that are a bit later because they might be slightly cheaper, or if they don't schedule in advance, then you might get stuck with that ice time. But if you want a consistency in your schedule, you basically have to book the ice time for the whole year.
Mhm.
And that could put a lot of financial strain on people. So
Yeah.
usually they'd be like one main guy that's able to gather all the money and then pay for the ice time in advance. Actually, funny thing in my old hockey team. So what a brief history of the hockey teams I've been in within Japan. So to kind of give a little background, university hockey here, Sofia, and then played in the S League at Marubeni for a couple of years. Switched over to this team called the SJ Sparks, Seijo Sparks, and they were having some trouble with like gathering team for practices. Like COVID definitely kind of ruined a lot of momentum. But like getting people to come out and then become a bit more competitive, but also like there are other things that were scattered, like making payments on time and
Yeah.
whatnot. And it's like, all right, we need to make things a lot more structured and make it easier for everyone to kind of like meet deadlines and make communication really clear. So like we were practicing at like 3 in the morning on Friday nights, and we wouldn't get the schedule for like what Friday nights we would be practicing on until like the first day of the month, which is crazy. It's
Yeah.
like it's Friday night, nobody's gonna want to go, and then even if they could, it's like they might already have stuff planned. In Japan, especially Tokyo, people have plans like 2 weeks in
Yeah.
advance. But the regulating the schedule, and it's like, all right, we need to figure out a way that we could partner with another team to get like a 10:45 p.m. ice time. That's usually the best, easiest one for people of our age to, but still play hockey on the side. 'Cause all the earlier times are booked for figure skating or like kids, so middle school or high school kids, because they're not allowed to stay out later than 11 p.m. So they'll be prioritized in that sense. So the 10:45 ice time was key, and then trying to get a weekend ice slot. So I slot at 10:45 p.m. in Jingu. The people started rolling in. Like it was easier to recruit people because like the first thing people would ask if you try to recruit them is like, oh, when do you practice? And it's like if we can't give them a straight answer, it's like I don't know if I'm interested in joining.
Yeah.
Other thing is like how much does it cost? It's like you got to give them a straight answer. This should be like kind of basic stuff. So now we regulated our schedule, and then we were also able to regulate the payments as well. So usually Japanese companies, they give out a bonus in July, like the beginning of July, and they'll give out a bonus, and so usually 2 bonuses a year. Some places just do 1 bonus a year, and that would be, and it could be December, but generally most Japanese companies do this. It's part of the culture, and you'll see it too because like when it's bonus season, a lot of people are going out, they're eating like nice things, they're spending it up a bit, and it's a exciting time. But that's also the best time to send out a message to people. Hey,
Time to
half
for
a
hockey.
year of your annual hockey fee is due today. Can you please send over the cash within 2 weeks, right? And then
Yeah. So what
if you
is,
do it during bonus season, nobody's going to be like,
yeah. Well, I mean, what does
they'll
it cost?
account
Like,
for it quickly.
what is half of a season cost? Just ballpark.
It depends on the team, but I would say on average about 30,000 yen. If you're and this is like if you're getting 2 ice times per month.
Okay.
So I guess like a total of say like 12 ice times, right? This would be practices, and then if you have like say 15 to 20 players, you should be able to pay for the ice times with that amount.
So
If
it's
there's
30.
anything left over, put it into a party or something.
Yeah. So it's 30,000 yen for 12 ice times. I mean, as a team, is that
Yeah, as a team.
okay?
Yeah,
So
that's about pretty
yeah, I
accurate.
mean, yeah. So for us, that's 210 US dollars or so, whatever the yen's at right now. I know the yen is very low right
Yeah.
now. But I also know the salaries are a little different in Japan.
Yeah, it varies. And it's very age dependent too.
Mhm.
So if you're, if you want to bring like young guys out or something, it's pretty common for the older guy to pay for the younger guy because salaries incrementally increase. So like
Yeah.
people in their 40s or 50s generally are making a decent amount. But the especially like new grads or something, it could be
Yeah.
really tough.
So, I mean,
Yeah, and it's important to get them
so
involved. So then the pipeline.
how early do I need to try to book? Like if I'm just trying to do a single ice time, like I want 2 ice times in Tokyo for our group. Like we're just going to come. We have the dates that we're going to be there. We want to play like one game on this night, one game on this night, and I'm not worried about the cost. Like we'll pay for the ice time for the team to come play us as well, and for referees. But just to secure an ice
Uh,
time, knowing that we also, I mean, we won't have cars, so I don't mind if we play at 2 a.m. But
uh,
we'd have to
yeah.
play when the train can get us there and back to the rink.
Hmm. So there's actually a lot of options. I mean, if you're staying in central Tokyo, then it kind of simplifies things quite a lot. Um, but
Shinjuku
if
is
the
where we'll
main
stay.
focus is hockey, if you guys are staying in you could probably cab it back and forth too.
Okay.
Especially well, you're saying January, right?
Well, first one's
Yeah.
October, like October.
October.
Yeah.
October's a great. You could probably walk back to Shinjuku if it's October.
Oh, because
Now
it's
you
so
won't be
nice.
able to leave your stuff, but I think Jingu would probably be the best rink.
Okay.
That or Higashi Fushimi. Fushimi, you might be able to find some ice times. Actually, October is during the student tournament though. If it's earlier, like in the summertime, usually there's like slots that you might be able to book up, like at a really good hour. Um, Sometimes in Yokohama has
Okay.
some options too. But and you shouldn't rule out like rinks in Kanagawa because those are actually rather quick to get to and actually stations as well. Um, about getting the ice time though. So I'm guessing come over, you'll bring your own team, and then you'd want to try to do like a match with a team that already exists in Tokyo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually think we should do a
Well,
practice game against Tokyo Canadians.
yeah. No, we can do that for sure. I've
Yeah,
talked to them before. Like I've talked to them online
yeah,
before, and like I live in Canada, right? So So for me, like the Tokyo Canadiens would be a fun
Yeah.
match to have. And so, you know,
Yeah.
our whole goal with this is to experience hockey culture in different areas, right? Like
Yeah.
we actually leave after I go to Boston this weekend. I leave from Boston and we're going to Scandinavia. So we're going to go play. We're going to Oslo, Norway, Gothenburg, Sweden, Malmo, Sweden, and Copenhagen, Denmark, and we're going to
Yeah.
play a team in each city. And so that's just kind of
Yeah.
what we want to do. And you know, like I said, I love Japan, and you know, for me, I'm trying to find cool things to take these people to as a tour. Like obviously, this is so touristy, but everyone wants to do that stupid
Yeah.
Mario Kart driving around in a Mario Kart suit. And I don't know why.
Oh,
Like I know you locals have to hate those guys that are driving around those go-karts, but that's what everyone
honestly,
wants to
I don't
do.
really mind. It's like if people like Tokyo and they want to do it, it's like uh, it, to me, it's not too big of a deal. Like scooters, some people hate the people on the scooter.
Yeah.
What really grinds my gears though is when there's like bikes on the pedestrian pathway. It's like people are trying to walk around and you're allowed to use the road. Why don't you just use the road? Of course you don't want to get hit by a car, but
Yeah.
I don't want to get hit by a
Yeah, no, I
bike.
get it. But yeah, for us, and it's just,
Yeah.
the food. I mean, the food there is incredible. Like, obviously, I love. I tell people every time, like, I love sushi. I just love sushi, and I love Toro is obviously my favorite. But there they have like the super fatty tuna, right? And
Yeah.
we were eating, and it was literally at the bottom of a hotel in Shinjuku, like one of the APA hotels, and we ate, and
Yeah.
I ordered it, and I was like, if I bought all of this in the States, it would be $100. And I got my bill and it was like 11 US dollars or something. And so I just, I think people, they don't realize, like they think, oh, we're going to spend a bunch of money when we go to Japan. And it's not as it's not as price prohibitive as a lot of people think. Like the food is very reasonable. The hotels, I mean, sure, you can stay at 5-star hotels, or you can stay, like as in the APA hotels or Hotel Gracery where they got the Godzilla head in Shinjuku. That's I've stayed at both of those, and they're
Yeah.
always clean, they're always comfortable, everyone's always nice. The APA hotels are more hardcore about things. Like I left my key in my room and they wanted to charge me 1,000 yen just for another key, but other than that, everything is pretty awesome, and you never lack for things to do in Japan, especially in Shinjuku. Like that place is always popping off.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? That reminds me of a Japanese word that I think you got to learn when you think about Japanese people. The one comes to mind. It's a Japanese word. It's called omotenashi. It's like
Omotenashi.
it's basically means like to not to think, and that's kind of like the main thing that a lot of the service industry here. And it's also the culture. Like if you're a hotel guest or something, you don't want to leave the room trashed. You'll make it kind of easy for the service to come and take care of it too. But the omotenashi, to not think, means that if you don't have to think about anything, that's the best. Like your
Mhm.
mind is at peace, right?
Yep.
So if you're going to like a restaurant or something and you get the food, and you want it prepared and stuff, and like the service is very friendly and stuff, you don't have to think about it because that's kind of I wouldn't say expectation, but this is like you get joy from like not having any sort of like conflict or
Yeah, and
um things
that's
that make you think.
well, that's crazy because that's exactly what our trips are for. Because when I came to Japan, I was thinking like, why don't more people come? Why don't more come with us? And I thought, okay, well, I get it. The culture barrier, the language barrier, not knowing how to use the transit, not
Yeah,
knowing where to go eat. And so that's where I said, let me handle it for you. You pay me
yeah,
to set up everything. And so my thing is like I have a staff, her name is Brooklyn. So she's going to be stationed at Haneda Airport, and I'm going to be at Shinjuku Station. And so when they get there, they'll see Brooklyn. She'll get all their stuff checked in at Yamoto. She'll get them on the train and say, get off at this station. I will be there and I'll get them to their hotel. They don't have to think about anything. They just have to show up and experience everything. So, uh, Omotenashi. That's what we're saying.
Omotenashi.
Omotenashi.
Yeah.
That's the name of this.
Japanese omotenashi is the best in the world.
um, well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I really enjoy talking to you. I know we've already been on here for 45 minutes. So I don't want to take up a bunch of your time because I know it's a limited time. But just how about just tell me one reason why you think our hockey players over here should come visit Japan to play hockey.
Oh, well, whether it's for Japan or whether it's hockey, the main thing you want to do. The number one reason I think you guys like people all around the world should visit Japan is the community here is absolutely loving, very caring, and very friendly. But I mean, like here we like everyone who plays hockey because we have to play at the middle of the night. It takes a lot of effort to just get to the rink. The people here are diehard hockey fans, and when you get to experience that, I think you'll feel at home, and it'd be great to meet people.
Yeah, that's awesome. And Jillian had one more question for you. And I know I gave you a list of questions and we probably didn't go through all
Yeah,
of them because whatever.
yeah.
But my one thing that I want to do, I want to go to Meiju and I want to play where I can walk off and go to that convenience store to get food and like the one thing that I love, and this is the weirdest thing. I know everyone says the egg sandwiches, like people just love those for some reason. But the one thing I love is when you go
Yeah.
to 7-Eleven and they have the like little coffee lattes in the little clear plastic with like the red and it has a little straw. I love that. Like I will drink
Oh
those
yeah.
all day. And then they also have that ice cream. They also have that ice cream in that square package that has a
Yeah,
little white nozzle. Love that stuff. But Jillian wants to
yeah.
know,
Oh, the
yeah,
coolish.
Jillian wants to
Yeah.
know what is your Japanese pregame pump up song?
Oh, pregame pump.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, this used to change like every year. Especially and we did pump up songs a lot more in college because we actually had like a locker room and we could do like pump ups. Well, I mean, one year we did "Don't Let Me Down" by the Chainsmokers. Um,
Okay.
another year, well, I mean, like One O'clock is a pretty famous band here, but we used to have like their song as our pump up song as well. Um, it really varied. One year we had a really good promotional video to try to get like new people to join the hockey team, where we used a song called "Victorious" by what is it? I'm trying. Oh, we Panic at the Disco made it.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, I love me some Panic at the Disco. Okay.
that's kind
Yeah.
of
Well,
interesting. Yeah, and yeah, sorry.
oh no, I was just gonna say, is there any like just like Japanese like 'cause obviously I know all the US bands, right? But I don't know
Yeah.
much about the Japanese music culture. But when you watch on TV, like before I came last time, this show came out on Crave or Showtime called Tokyo Vice. I don't know if you've ever seen it or heard about it. But it's about a
Yeah.
guy.
Oh, I've heard about it.
Yeah, it's
It's
about
yeah,
like a
yeah.
US reporter comes over and he works for the largest Tokyo newspaper, and then he's tracking the yakuza and all this stuff. But obviously, the stereotypical Japanese karaoke boy band, they love them some NSYNC and Backstreet Boys apparently over there. So uh, I just was wondering,
Yeah, you could always do "I Want It That Way."
yeah, I want it
Yeah,
that way. But is like,
yeah.
what's the big like Japanese music? Like, what's one of the biggest Japanese like bands?
Uh, I think right now the biggest band is probably Mrs. Green Apple. They showed up at the Grammys as well this
Okay,
year,
yeah,
which is kind of
I
cool.
didn't watch him, but when
Yeah,
I was just walking around like Shinjuku, and I was like, why is everyone just standing around looking at this building? And I look, and I guess it's like a top 10 countdown, and like people like were filming like the music videos and like crying, and I was like, "What is going on?" And apparently, like that's a big thing. I think it was a big K-pop thing or something. Like I was like, "This is insane!" Like people are just going nuts over this stuff. But some of the songs were pretty
Right.
catchy. But I remember walking around like one of the shopping malls there by Shinjuku Station, and they were playing like U.S. rap music, but it was the uncensored, so it was all like the curse words, and you're not used to hearing that in public. And I asked someone, I'm like, "Hey, like, do you know what this is saying?" And they're like, "No, no." Okay, I think they were playing like WAP, like like Wet Ass Pussy by Nicki Minaj, and I'm like, "Do you know
Uh,
what this is saying?" And they're like, "No." They just would, and then so it's like I thought that was kind of funny, right?
you just see like people walking around with their kids and stuff, and they got this going on, the
Yeah,
uncensored
that's why
version.
I'm like, "What is?" And then I remember like I saw like I saw the shirt said like fucking stupid or something on the shirt. And I was like, "Hey," I was like, do you like with this shirt, right?" And they're like, "No, no English." And I'm like, "Okay, I get it." But then she started talking English to me, and I'm like, "What do you like?
Yeah,
You're literally speaking English to me right now, and you're saying you don't speak English." So I thought that was kind of weird, but yeah.
yeah.
So, but
I don't
yeah.
know.
So
Sometimes there's trolls.
well, I always
Yeah,
just chalk it up to like because obviously the culture is like the very respectful, and they don't want to look bad at things, and so maybe they just tell me they don't speak English because they don't think their English is very good. But like I'm like you're speaking English to me. I understand everything you're saying, right? So um, but other than that, man, I just appreciate you taking the time, and I can't wait to come over to Japan 2 times, October, and then also in January. And if we want to try to get something going in Kyoto,
yeah,
I mean, that would be great. I mean, I'd have to lean on you
yeah.
obviously because more the language, right? So, I'm definitely down to do it. And
Thing gets cooking. I'll let you know. But oh, but before we wrap up, I had
okay.
one question for you actually.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think about the World Cup of Hockey? They have 8 teams, but they don't have a single team from Asia. I think there's something wrong with that. You're
Well, I
you're
mean,
cutting out a whole entire continent. Why not have one
no, I
entry?
mean, I guess
It would make qualifiers and stuff way more
well, I
interesting in
think it would
Japan
grow the
and
game.
Korea and
It would grow the
China.
game, which is number 1 is
Yeah,
what they wanna do. But it would be like, when they did the World Cup, and obviously they had North America and they had Europe, right? And so it wasn't actually like
yeah,
the Olympics, but it was kinda like the best on the best. Like, they just had that 4 nations here, um, recently, which was
yeah,
super exciting, right? I would like to see it because I think the thing about it is, like, just like with putting pro sports, like a pro team in Tokyo or the big that's how you would get a following. I think if you put an Asian team into something like that, yeah, you can do an all Asian team and even let like the NHL players that have an Asian background, like you said, Kyler Yamamoto and those guys, right?
right,
Let them come play. I think you can build more hockey players. And I mean, it's not obviously Japan is super populated, China super populated, right? And once you start getting those guys into the game,
yeah,
like that's how you get more hockey around the world, right? And I think that it's crazy to not include an Asian, but they do. I mean, obviously they have them. At least they have Olympic qualifiers. Just so you'll know, Japan jerseys are my all-time favorite jersey in the Olympics. They just have cool looking jerseys, and we've actually did our own play on we did like no offense, like we did like not the top IIHF, we did like the bottom, like the not so powerhouses of IIHF, and I just did it so I could do a Japanese jersey because I thought they were really cool. And so I actually one of the big things that I'm looking forward to for the tour that we're doing is we have full uniforms made for each tour. So I get to do some Japanese themes. And like I even have a pair of Eagle, you know what Eagle hockey gloves are?
oh
It's a
yeah,
brand. Yeah. So I made
yeah,
when I went in May, I made a custom pair of Eagle hockey gloves and they're black and red. And in the cuff, it says Eagle, but in Japanese. And
yeah.
so this time, yeah.
Oh
So this
really?
time I'm going to
All
make
right.
gloves that have like they're red or they're gonna be black, but in every roll on the backhand, it's gonna have a sun like going down this way. So they're gonna look pretty sweet. So that's what I'm most excited about. More Japanese flavored hockey gear. Right?
Oh Yeah, that'll be awesome.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so anything else before we go? Anything else you want to say?
Uh, well, we're looking forward to seeing you around. Thanks for having me on your podcast, and would love to talk more about hockey in Japan and converse about hockey in states and Canada. Let me know if you're ever in town, and let's try to get this Kyoto tournament
Yeah, let's
cooking.
do it. And like I said, I'll give you the dates that we're going to be in town, and definitely, obviously, we want to play the Tokyo Canadians. Um, Me and you and the rest of the crew, we're going to go
Yeah.
out for sushi and beer and sake. Maybe we'll do a karaoke bar. Maybe you can come drive go karts with us. I don't know. But yeah, looking forward to hanging out with you when we're there. And I'll message you just to just to get some tips on how we can get this ice booked and how we can get the Canadians on board and the Tokyo Canadians on board to play us. And I think we'll have a good time. Beers
All
on
right,
us. That
sounds
that
good.
usually gets people in the States. We'll buy the beer, right? All right,
Cheers.
buddy. Well, hey, thank you very much,
All
and
right. Thanks,
have a
Nikki.
good day. And I guess it's 11 o'clock here, so I'm going to go to bed.
All right. Good night.
Good night. We'll
Good
see you
night.
later. All right, bye.
All right.
All right, that's the interview. That's the interview with Chris. And
Oh, yeah.
listen,
I was waiting for the
Jillian couldn't be
intro.
there. I mean, you listen. You don't know no intro because we already did it. Remember,
I forgot.
we already did it. But here's the deal. Chris, great guy, and Jillian wasn't here
Yeah.
for the interview, so she doesn't know that Chris wants us to get another tournament going over there in Kyoto, which but
Hi.
he did answer some of your questions. Yeah. Hi.
Sweet.
Like I always watch like TV shows and movies, and it's like when you're famous, then they put you on like a Japanese commercial, like Mr. Baseball. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, go do a commercial. And it's like, hi,
Hi.
so
They like
I
that
also,
and peace sign.
I also like, just so you know, like he answered your question, like, what are you living in the year 3000?
Yeah.
He said the trains, which I knew that's what he would say because that's the
Oh,
coolest thing about Japan, just how fast and clean and efficient those
yeah.
dang trains are. But the one thing that I like about the trains more than anything uh, is that they have like these TV screens on up above, right? And
Yeah.
they're always playing like weird fucking videos
Oh.
of people doing weird shit. Like one guy's like, how how many push-ups can you do? It is, at least that's what I think it's saying because it's in Japanese. How many push-ups can you do? But then it's like push-ups where they're not actually doing push-ups. Like they're like 1, 2, 3, 4, like this, and they're counting, and then like comes on the screen. It's like 49 push-ups in 50 seconds, but it's like they're not doing it. And
Oh,
it's
it's
just
not an ad, it's a video, like,
yeah,
this is entertainment?
it's like the entertainment on the train. It's funny and I like
Sweet.
I don't know what's going on, but I love it. Right? And it's not even
Sweet.
like it's not on the long distance trains, like the long bullet trains or anything like that. It's
Yeah.
just on like the commuter trains, like when
The
you're
daily
going
train?
from and I've missed a couple train stops when they're like, all right, everybody get off at the Yogoboshi station. Yogoboshi is next stop, or whatever they say.
Yes.
But I don't recognize the name of the station, and I'm also like looking at watching the screen, so I'll miss like my stops, which is cool because I can just you're on a train pass, so you can just get on and go the other way. But nonetheless, that was his answer to your question. He didn't really give me a straight answer to the music. I was looking more for
Ooh.
like a Japanese stuff, but it was all American stuff, like all maybe
He's allowed to like American
no,
music.
he is American, but like I wanted like to add a Japanese banger to the playlist. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, do they make those? I'm kidding.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sure they have
when I
to.
went, one of the things when I went there, I'm just walking around, like minding my own business, and then like I up ahead, I see a crowd, and as I get closer, it's all Japanese women, and I'm like, all right, I'm in the right spot. Let's go. Uh, but they were all like standing over here, but then like looking up across the street at. And then I was like, what the fuck is going on? And some of them had their like phones out, like filming it. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And apparently they were doing like a top 10 K-pop video countdown.
Oh,
And like
sweet.
they were in it. And I'm like, I don't in 2020, like I remember I used to watch what like was it TRL or something
Yeah.
on MTV, and they'd be up in Times Square, like down Times Square. And I was like,
Yeah.
and which was cool, right? But in 2025, when you don't have to watch MTV to see music videos, like you can just go on your
Tragic.
phone. Why were they like, oh, here we go, I'm watching, and it's like you could just
Oh.
go onto Japanese YouTube or whatever it is and probably
It's
find this
not the
video.
same. I wanna
Okay,
watch it through my little screen.
I know, but yeah, I don't know. But it was cool. So there was a ton of K-pop bangers going on, and listen, I'm like, dude, I'm bopping around
You're
with it because
bopping.
they were bangers, right? But I
Yeah,
don't
you're
know who
allowed.
they were. But yeah, so that's basically what he said. And speaking of Japanese bangers, maybe this is Korea bangers. I don't know. I had a dream that I was in a music video last night, and it also had something to do with either Japan or Korea. You ever remember that movie Rush Hour, like Jackie Chan
Never
and
heard of
Chris
it.
Tucker? No, I
Yes,
mean
of
yeah.
course.
Okay. Do you remember what like the kind of the theme song was back there?
Wait, what about Tokyo Drift?
No, this is Rush Hour.
Oh, then no.
Okay.
I don't know if I watched it. Honestly, I don't think I did.
Do you know who Drew Hill is? The group
No.
Drew Hill. Do you know who Cisco is? That dong, da dong, dong,
Okay.
dong.
Oh, of course, of course, of course, of course, of
Okay,
course.
so Cisco was actually in a group called Drew Hill before he was Cisco. I mean, he was still Cisco, but he was the lead singer of Drew Hill.
Who would have known I got all this?
Yeah,
fun
and
stuff?
there was a song called "How Deep Is Your Love." How deep is your love for me? Tell me what it's gonna be. Do you see yourself freaking with a like me on a low? So,
How deep is your love?
well, yeah, that was a different one, but
Oh, boo.
it was like that, but it was in Rush Hour, and like the music video is actually like Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan, and then it's Cisco and the rest of the Drew Hill, Cisco, Nokia, Woody. I don't remember who the other one is. On the top of a building in either Japan, it's probably Japan, dancing. And my dream was I was in that music video, just boom, boom, doing the dance moves and stuff. And so like I woke up this morning like singing the song. I was like, what are you doing? I'm like, I had a dream
Then you
last
had to
night that
play
I
it.
was in, and I showed her the music video, and she's like, well, one, you can't dance. And I'm like, listen, I can tap
Everyone
it
can
like,
dance. Wait, what
yeah. I
is
was like,
this?
well, that's what he was doing. That's one of the moves. Like he was like,
Oh, that's
little
what
dance.
you were doing.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, how is she shaming my dance? She's like a dancer, professional dancer. Like she's get paid for it.
Way different.
She should know that people express their love and passion for the body movement in different ways. It's not
Yeah.
good or bad. It's just different. So
There's
you know what?
difference in like dancing and vibing.
You know what? So fuck Tanis for judging my dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you,
Call her
Tanis.
right now.
She's in the dentist.
Oh,
I hope you have cavities.
you,
I hope they're
yeah.
I hope
Root
they're drilling.
canal.
I hope they're canaling you right now
Oh,
because of your
yeah.
judgment of my dance, and I'm
Yeah.
tired of it. Grounds for divorce.
Okay.
Not
I'll
really.
get the papers ready.
Get them ready. I need to talk to my attorney. So
Okay.
my attorney is Chat GPT,
It's me.
Esquire at law or whatever.
Esquire,
Barrister?
LLC, MBA,
Barrister?
CPA,
Yeah, PhD. Don't forget that.
PhD,
right.
LLC. I
So-
forgot we are you know what we didn't talk about? Did we talk about this real? I never forget when our mics are on / not on because we talked about Hawaii,
Oh yeah.
but did we talk about it? We did, right?
Listen, yeah,
For the people?
I only remember that I was in a dream dancing with Cisco.
That's
I don't
yeah.
remember
So
anything else.
the memory ends at last night. Okay.
Well, no, I just get like things that are important to me. Is what I remember.
Going to Hawaii in this December is not important to you.
No, that is important to me for sure, but I don't remember if we talked about it. I don't remember if I shared the news with the world.
Well, maybe it's just like a sneaky because it's
Yeah,
going to be coming out in an email.
I still have to book the ice, but they told me that this is what we were good for. I need a contract. That's the thing. That's my hard part.
Oh, dang.
So we'll get it. We'll get it taken care of. We'll
Well,
get
I got closer to. Are people allowed to know that I make emails?
Jillian has been employed.
Kind of. Yeah, making some emails.
I mean,
The goal of when I make an email is to get what I would call a rise out of Nick. I think I've just been trying to inch closer and closer to something weird because he's like, I don't care, send whatever. And then I'll be like, okay, I'm sending an email. And then he's like, cool. I'm like, oh man, he didn't even care that I like put his head on an Italian statue or something. So this week I put your head on, I would call her borderline sexy, I guess. Hula dancer.
Are you saying I'm sexy? All right, let's
Well,
go.
your
No, you don't have to answer. I already know the answer.
Yeah, you're right. Wasn't a question, just
I already know
statement.
the answer.
You were also in a kayak going over Niagara Falls.
Which I've done that.
Yes. I should have put you in a barrel.
Oh, you missed out. Missed it.
What? I didn't send the email yet.
Well, there's still time. That's true.
And we had you in the Great Salt Lake.
Yep.
And that was the closest I've gotten to a response on an email is, I look good in email form.
Well, I mean, listen, hey, I'm a weird guy anyway, so I like
Yeah.
stuff that comes out weird. Like I think you mentioned it before, like the chubby stuff is funny.
Yeah.
And so I like that kind of stuff. But really, if you want to see Jillian stay employed, you need to take action on her emails. Quit
It's
fucking
true.
around.
That's true.
You need to quit fucking
I'm
around.
going to post in the group and say, what can I put in this email that will make Nick question my
Yeah.
status as
I-
doing emails?
You
And see what they come up with.
actually, you should ask the question, what could I put in this email so that you save my job? That's
True.
what you
Okay, I'll
should
do that.
That would be the even better thing to do.
All right, I'll post it.
Yeah, post it. Post it.
Okay.
You know, they gotta, I mean, listen, we literally have lamplighter stuff and like 2 people made orders, which is wild to me. Like a lot of people, I get it. A lot of people buy our stuff at events. That's where most of our merch stuff is. But like, if
Yeah.
we want to be serious, like, listen, do you think Violent Gentleman gives a fuck about beer leaguers?
Nah.
I can't legally say no because then they could sue me for disparaging them. But they're going to like judo and like Breakfast Club shit now. Like they don't give a shit about us beer leaguers.
Yeah.
Right? You know who does care about beer leaguers? Me.
You.
You know,
Just
I've
you.
only made one non-beer league shirt, and it was for kids of beer leaguers. It said Root Beer League. Right?
I want that in a onesie, and that never happened.
Beer League. Well, it's hard to order one onesie at a time.
No, that's why I order a lot. I'm gonna post a thing and say, if there was a Root Beer League onesie, would you buy it?
But it's just like the shirts. Like I have to order 100 shirts. Like I got to sell 100 shirts. And you know, so if I can't sell 100 onesies, I'm not even selling 100 shirts right now. That's the
Let me
crazy.
I'm gonna figure this. I'm gonna do the bottom of this.
Because everyone wants it and they're like, why don't you bring merch to events? And then I bring it and they don't buy all of it and I got to tote it home.
They just want what they can't have.
Yeah. Well,
the
listen,
idea of it.
Yeah, you can't have any of my shit unless you buy it.
Yeah. Well, maybe just all my ideas are better because they're my ideas. I think that's what everyone thinks. Like I have a good idea because it's mine, but it's just because you came up with it.
Yeah, I think that you're definitely partial to your ideas, but I've grown out of that stage with me because I have so many ideas. I've had so many bad ones, like really bad.
What's one of them?
Boy, it's been a long time since I had one.
No.
Well, I will say, obviously, the BLPA, the first iterations of Beer League World Championships, because they didn't work. You know,
yeah,
like Minnesota not working, right?
Sad. My own state disrespect.
Putting a team tournament in Chicago, not a good idea.
Weird. It's like all the states that already play hockey a lot.
Well, a lot of it is hockey's so saturated, right? And like a lot of people are literally, and listen, I'm not disparaging anyone because I also make a living by this, but a lot of these tournaments are like, I'm going to run a tournament and just make it a little side hustle. And then they'll come in and they'll like make it bottom dollar and they'll make a couple $100 and they'll think that's good. And it's like, you can't, like as a company can't survive like that. Like think about if like fucking Ronald decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to go to
McDonald.
Ronald McDonald. Imagine if he was like, hey, I got this. I'm a clown by trade. I'm working at Barnum and Bailey Circus.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go make cheeseburgers on the side, just 1 hour a day and see where that takes me. Right. And, you know, either it leads to McDonald's or it leads to Burger King, which sucks. Right. So it's
true.
Actually, I like Burger King.
They do have good crispy fries, but I think McDonald's fries are still better.
Can you imagine if like all of the places got together and took like the best part of each of their things and put them in one
What would it be? What's our consolidated fast food?
This isn't even like a planned thing. This is just fucking organic. Like we
organic content.
Holy moly, look at us go. Okay.
McDonald's fries.
Oh, McDonald's fries for sure. If you go with burger, like listen, I get it. In-N-Out Burger is good. I get it. All right.
Yeah.
But it's not excessive. Like I would probably go Culver's. Actually, Culver's is one of the top burgers.
Culver's doesn't have a lot of seasoning. The flavor is just not there for me.
But it's fresh. That's the thing. It's so fresh. And you get bacon cheeseburger, Whataburger, because it's got a lot of onions and mustard on it.
Okay. Chick-fil-A drinks because I like their ice.
Oh, Chick-fil-A does have good ice. Okay, let's
Yeah.
go. And they have Diet Dr. Pepper, so I'm on with that. What I'm really off about is people that are like, we're only going to offer you one iteration of diet soda. And in that case, it's usually Diet Coke, and
it's usually Diet Pepsi.
No,
which is
I love
worse.
Diet Pepsi. Diet Coke is the worst. Coke Zero is good. Diet Coke. Ugh.
Yeah,
nonetheless.
true.
But yeah, so you have that, but then the problem is like McDonald's has good fries, but Chick-fil-A also has good waffle fries.
They do.
You know what I'm saying? That's why
But
it's
if
so
you're
hard.
going like, if it's gonna be like the best McDonald's fry or the best Chick-fil-A fry, I think I'd still take the best McDonald's fry.
Okay,
It's just like
yes.
waffle fry always hits, but McDonald's when they're good, like.
But it would have to be like hot. Like give me them
course.
hot. Give them hot.
It's the
shit.
best of everything.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, so we're actually that's our restaurant. It's called The Best.
The best.
The best of the best right here.
Best of
Top Gun. We're actually making a restaurant. It's called Top Gun. Best of the best right here.
Okay.
You shake my nerves and you rattle my brain. You know.
Oh, banana.
Okay, so we're going to McDonald's fries for sure.
Yeah.
We're gonna do. What are we gonna say burger wise?
You said you wanted Culver's.
Culver's or Whataburger are my top.
Or In-N-Out.
Yeah, I mean In-N-Out is so
Animal
plain,
style.
but it's so simple. It's so good. Like they don't have a bacon cheeseburger. I like bacon cheeseburgers. That's my thing. Bacon cheeseburger. Mainly because I love
Bacon
bacon.
pancakes. Bacon pancakes.
Bacon pancakes.
Have you seen that bird?
I have, yeah. Making bacon pancakes. It's not a bird, but it's
bird.
Yeah. Okay. So let's just go ahead and say for Whataburger burger. Okay.
Okay. Yes, because I would take Culver's dessert.
Okay, Culver's
or
dessert.
Dairy Queen. But the custard?
Yeah, the concrete mixers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Burger King also has really good onion rings, and they also have Hershey Sundae pie as a dessert.
Oh, and Domino's has those chocolate lava cakes that are like
That's not fast
weirdly
food.
really good.
Domino's isn't fast food. We're talking about like fast food place. Like you got to go in and make the pizza.
Fine. Okay.
Okay, and then
Culver's is the dessert for sure.
Culver's is the dessert. Okay, so that's why it's not in the burger because it can only be one of each, right?
Yes.
So McDonald's fries, Whataburger burger.
Yeah.
Culver's dessert, Chick-fil-A drinks.
Drink.
What else do we have? That's basically it.
Napkins. Where do we get our napkins from?
I don't know. Any place that doesn't have those shitty ass paper straws, that's where we're getting the straws.
None of the fast food places have those paper ones.
In your neck of the woods.
Oh, really?
In
They do
Canada,
there?
in
You'd
Canada,
think California care about the environment.
You would think, listen, Canada cares about the environment, and if they ever become the 51st state, I hope that's the first thing that's repealed is paper straws. I'm not getting political, all right? I'm not saying they should
turtles
or they shouldn't.
to choke.
No, it's not. Listen, just give me a goddamn straw that doesn't. If you can invent a straw that stays not a papery mess after 20 minutes, I'm good with it. I'll say
I've seen hay being used.
Yes. Hay?
Yeah.
Like they made a hay straw?
Well, yeah.
Is this big hay shit again? Are you back on big hay? Oh my God.
Wait, they told me to be more discreet.
Oh my God.
My sponsor's going to drop me.
You almost slipped it in. You almost got it. But listen, you got to wake up pretty early.
Hey. Sorry, I had to say it 6 more times.
You're going to have to wake up pretty early in the morning to get one by me. And by pretty early in the morning, I got to be up at 3:30 tomorrow morning.
Got my word count in.
Dang it.
All right. Send me that check.
All right, yeah. And
anyway, back by popular demand. I have something that's not about fast food.
Were people into this? Did they like it?
No, nobody asked for this.
Okay, but you're going to give it to us anyway.
I'm going to give you what you don't want. I'm going to give you what nobody asked for.
I like that.
It's the story of my life.
And guess what? Here's the deal. Even if you said, "Hey, I don't want it," she would give it to you anyway.
Absolutely.
And you know why? Because there's a double standard with girls and guys. If I try to do it, everyone gets all mad at me. You know, you say no, and I try to give it to you anyway, you're pissed off. But Jillian, say no. All right.
Then
I don't know if you guys know this, but we got a cranky ass baby over here.
We're having a rough time.
Yeah, that's why we're not live today. We're gonna take a 5 here.
Okay, he's not making a noise in the swing for like 5 seconds. So
all right, here we go. All right, we're gonna go to Jillified.
Okay, here's a Jillified. Yes, please pull up my screen.
Oh, I would have said pull out.
Oh, please pull out my screen. Okay.
I never.
Here we go.
All right.
So I put like a quick little recap in there just for those if they don't know what was happening, didn't see it before. These are NFL team. Why do I keep saying NFL? NHL teams that I think need to be renamed / have a new mascot.
Okay.
/ dash. Okay. So we talked about the Ducks. Not the Ducks. They need to be the Aviators. It's not tropical. You know, Southern California needs sunglasses. It's cool. Could be related to airplanes, but it's not. Minnesota Wild. I will be a hater of my own state. Too vague. Mosquitoes. Bring them back. They even have 2 hockey sticks. Okay.
Yep.
Canucks. Absolutely not. Square orca teeth is not the vibe. However, the Vancouver Meese, that's who I want to be up against. Now that I'm a crying child. Now for my new ones. Buffalo. Ain't gonna happen. Too knightish. Feels like the crest, a royal, you know? And it just feels like you're sacrificing the buffalo rather than the buffalo making a sacrifice of the other team.
Yep.
Can you hear my child crying, or is it just me?
I can hear him. Do we want to pause for a second? Yeah.
The buffalo. Still not the vibe. The swords, nothing about it screams really good NHL team. However, the Buffalo.
Wouldn't it have to be the Buffaloes?
No, it's just one.
So it's just the team is just one. We only represent this.
The team is
one
a Buffalo.
The Buffalo, a Buffalo. Okay.
Because I want it to be the same word twice.
Okay. And so we're gonna forsake every single buffalo except this one buffalo right here.
Yeah, who has teeth that go into his nostrils, kind of.
Yeah, this is why AI can never take over the world.
How do you know? I made this. This wasn't AI.
Listen, I know things. This is why it's like the song when I did payment plan, but it made pay mini plan, and I was like, no,
yeah, you're so
plan.
close at being good at something.
And I like laid it out. PAYMENT. That's how you spell it.
Yeah,
not PAYMENY. But then it
pay mini.
Pay mini plans. Like, well, pay me.
I know.
Okay.
Look at his skates.
Yeah, I saw.
They're like kind of figure skates.
Yeah, those are kind of figure skates. But you know what? I got Buffalo.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Buffalo. Welcome them to the NHL. Thank you. Okay, next we have the Senators. Again, this feels like a coin. Like this looks like a Canadian coin for me. Or I said a little bit British. This is UK vibes. It's not it. So instead of this, we have the Ottawa Ottas. Because what's not fun about that?
Are there any otters in or Ottas in Ottawa?
See, I didn't do any research on that specifically.
You're just going on vibes and look.
Yeah, this was purely vibes. Before there was a little bit of like fact, a little bit of history, research, meaning. Not this time. This is purely what's best for the saying. Like Ottawa Ottas, here we go.
You know what's even crazy about this is it goes with the like whole theme of this whole show is Japanese, and this looks like something that they would for sure do. Like even with like the rising sun in the background there.
The rising sun.
This could actually the Osaka Ottas.
Oh, maybe I should just make all new Japanese teams.
Yeah, let's do all Japanese ones. That would be pretty wild too. I just don't know what this Otta's doing with his stick though. You know,
what do you mean? The one that he's like also his skate?
Yeah, but it looks like he's using it as like a skiing pole. I don't know what he's. Yeah.
Well, it's Japan. You never know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Things get weird in Japan, and I'm cool with it.
I heard that.
All right. Hey, those are good. I really think they should let you be in charge of the NHL. Everyone just make a new logo. Because here's the deal: the NHL doesn't give a shit about us. It's clear they don't give a shit about the product on the ice. But what they do give a shit about is making new jerseys for people to buy just to milk them of their money. So might as well get these ones in here for next year.
Should I just start like DMing these pictures to the NHL and see if they respond to any of them?
Yeah, and then post it. Like Ottawa Ottas, can we change it to this? So
yes.
But nonetheless, I guess we should probably end this pod. I mean, it's a long enough one anyway because I have an hour interview and we have like another hour. This could be my first hour podcast. I wasn't going to tell you.
Oh my God.
I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want you to be like, oh, we don't really need to talk today.
I knew it when you said 30 or 40 minutes. I knew that meant that there was like 3 other hours.
I just wanted that 2-hour podcast.
Wow.
That's what I want.
And you got it. And I could not be happier. I could not be more relaxed. Everything's good.
How deep is your love for me? Tell me what it's gonna be. Do you see yourself like me on a low though? What's that move?
If you want to go and hang around with me,
okay. All right. Well, hey, we're gonna try to podcast next week while I'm in Scandinavia, but it's gonna be hard to coordinate.
That's gonna be so sick.
There will be some content out in a boot.
Yeah, we don't know what it'll be.
We don't know what it'll be. We don't know if it'll be BLP After Dark. I did. By the way, I did pitch that idea to her. She is halfway down with more.
Let's go.
Halfway down is all we needed, baby. Let's
That's
go.
all the way in, baby.
Yeah.
Just need to dip a toe.
Yep. Just tipping it in. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, anything you want to add?
Hey guys.
Sorry about the baby, but
just want to add sorry about today.
if you want us, if you want us at our best, sometimes you got to take us at, I don't want to say it's the worst because a baby is a beautiful thing, but our worst.
A blessing.
For sure.
A true blessing. Babies are a blessing, but it doesn't mean it's not hard.
Look at me. I'm
We're
recording.
just having a tough.
Oh, hold on, I'm recording us.
Are those meta glasses?
Oh.
What the? Are those camera glasses?
Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah.
Do that again.
High tech. Well, I can't do that. It was just doing it because I did this, and that's how it reads.
Oh, I thought you had like a button on your glasses.
Oh, and it's playing music in my head. Okay. Ooh. All right. Other than that, guys.
The voices. They're back.
Other than that, guys. Hey, be good or be good at it.